Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the 𝐵𝐿𝐿 Transmog farm. Let us begin. Okay, so today we're going to be going over a Transmog farm in which I do quite regularly and I think is very good in order to build out a nice variety on the auction house. Now, a lot of different types of Transmog farms are typically based in vanilla or TBC. However, there are a few outliers which are quite valuable in Wrath of the Lich King, one being of which is Gundrak. Now, Gundrak is one instance that I love doing because it's so simple in order to do. It doesn't take that much time in order to do it, and if you jump in, you can just speed through it very easily and slay all of the mobs. All you have to do is just jump all the way down and just start slaying everything. Now, the thing with Gundrak is it's not one particular item you are going for. No, you are pretty much going for a ton of different types of varieties of medium tier transmog. This means that everything will not come straight away and just be like bam, it's like one massive thing. It's pretty much a load of different types of medium-esque transmog. So if you are more of a volume-based transmog seller, then I would recommend it. Now, if in words of people who don't understand what volume-based transmog is, you're relying on selling high volumes of low-tier transmog in order to sell on the auction house. And like my particular preferred method is going for the high-tier items. I prefer to go for items that are high ticket. However, I used to do volume based transmog farming where you used to sell multiple on the auction house, and it was very easy in order to build up. All you have to do is just basically run in pretty much the linear line of this dungeon. You do not have to go and slay any of the bosses or the mobs or all that jazz, and you just collect up all of the green based items from this actual dungeon. It's fairly easy in order to do, and I find it to be one of the best when it comes towards Wrath of the Lich King, hence why this is pretty much the first Wrath of the Lich King transmog farm I've actually talked about for pretty much this year, because it actually is one of my top tiers that I go for. Now, alongside that, the time in which in order to sell these items is roughly about the same as pretty much any other transmog, so you just have to be prepared for that. However, there is a couple of caveats with this, is as well as you are able to go in a linear straight line, you can also just finish up at the other entrance of Gundrak and just jump out. This takes you roughly around about 2 minutes. Obviously, I stopped to mine those guys, but it was roughly about 2 minutes in order to complete. And the other instance is on the other side of 𝐵𝐿𝐿 as well. But you can always just reset the instance and just jump back in. The other thing of note is with this dungeon, which is the caveat, is the amount of mobs that you are actually slaying. Now, there are a fairly decent amount of mobs. However, the amount of transmog you will receive from Gundrak is fairly low. So hence why some of these items are quite high valued, as some of them are only obtainable in the open world for just the trolls, or in this dungeon as well. You can actually get these also from Dragonflight Keep, which has a higher density of mobs but has quite a few things you need to bear in mind before you actually start farming this up. So if you're a medium based transmog seller, we've just gained around about 4k's worth of transmog, which is pretty dang good. I'm all right with that. You're going to get quite a lot of frostweave cloth from this farm as well. So if you're running it with your tailor, you can use the your northern scavenging from your tailor to gain extra additional material when you're actually farming this all up. Aside from all of that, it is really just that straightforward. You just run into one of the entrances and just follow it all the way through, slaying all the mobs that you find. And overall, I find it to be one of the most easiest dungeons to farm up for Wrath of the Lich King for transmog. The only other one that I do prefer is the Nexus. No, the only other one that I do prefer is the Oculus, and that one is mainly because it's fairly straightforward in order to farm up, and I can use it as a multi-farm with transmog and also with skinning, which works out quite well as the skins sell quite fast as well as all of that, but which I'll cover at a later date. However, with this particular farm, we are done with our second run, and you can see how easy it is in order to farm up. The value of this will add up over time. However, this is just one Wrath of the Lich King based transmog farm that I have quite an extensive list on covering in the near future. Other than that, guys, I would hope that you guys check out my other channel, Dalla, where I'm covering all of the other Void stuff. And other than that, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.